Hello there, my very good friends. Andy here for WhatCulture Wrestling, and I'm about to utter a sentence that I simply did not think I would be saying anytime soon on these videos in this little content world. Brock Lesnar is back in WWE following a return at SummerSlam, second night, Sunday, whatever we're going with for the official title. Last night, he closed out the show following the main event between Cody Rhodes and John Cena, and he's back on WWE screens for the first time in a long, long time. We're going to unpack all of this throughout the day here on WhatCulture Wrestling, but first of all, let's unpack the events that led to this. Let's talk about the main event, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, just a little bit. Spoilers for the result here, although you know about the return already because you're watching this video, so the result almost seems a little bit trivial, but Cena and Cody, main event of night 2, long match, went about 40 minutes. It was a street fight and they fought all over the arena, including at one point going underneath the stage, disappearing for about, I don't know, like half a minute, and then reappearing on the elevator, coming back up, and Cena's got Cody on his shoulders, all this stuff. Interesting visual for sure. But yeah, it was a match that was defined, I think, by multiple finisher kickouts. At one point Cena hit 3 AAs in a row, kick out. Cody hit 3 crossroads in a row, kick out. Must have been about half a dozen each of these, maybe even more, throughout the match. Is there a record for the most finisher kickouts in one match, at least in WWE? This might have taken it, but there was a lot of those. And then in the end, it boiled down to a spot where Cena was on the ropes. He's done effectively. He's cooked. Cody hits him with a Cena-style salute from behind. And then he throws one final crossroads on John Cena to win the match. Cena wrestled this entirely as a babyface, by the way. So the SmackDown angle where he appeared to throw the heel character in the bin, it wasn't a swerve. Seems he's a face now. So interesting, because a lot of people were theorizing that maybe it would be some kind of twist at SummerSlam. It wasn't. He played it straight face in this match. And it made for a better match than WrestleMania 41. Sorry, numbers are not my strong suit. Afterwards, Cena handed Cody the belt. He hugged him. Cena said something to him. We got the whole firework gimmick with Cody celebrating. He posed. And after that, Cody hugs Cena again. He raises Cena's hands. It looks like the feud is done. They respect each other, all of that stuff. And Cody left the ring. Cena was left all alone, soaking in the crowd's reaction. And that's when Brock Lesnar's music hit. For the first time in 2 years, Brock Lesnar hit the ring. He removed his cowboy hat. He hit an F5 on Cena. The crowd went mental for the music sting. So make of that what you will. But yeah, Lesnar's back for the first time in 2 years. His last appearance would have been SummerSlam 2023. Reports were that he was going to return in the 2024 Royal Rumble, being eliminated by Dominic Mysterio to set up a match between the two. I believe it was Elimination Chamber Perp in Australia. That would have taken place. But that match, that was cancelled. His appearance in the Rumble was cancelled. And he was reportedly replaced by Braun Breaker, who is now, of course, full-time on the main roster. At the same time, Lesnar was removed from WrestleMania 40 creative plans. He was pulled from the company's intro video, WWE's intro video, replaced by LA Knight. He was pulled from the cover of WWE 2K24's 40 Years of WrestleMania edition, and he was pulled from the playable roster on that game as well. He was also taken out of WWE Supercard. Why? Why was he pulled from all these things in early 2024? It's because he was named in Janel Grant's lawsuit, her sex trafficking lawsuit, against Vince McMahon, WWE, and then John Laurinaitis, who has since been removed as a defendant in this case. It was alleged that Vince McMahon coerced Janel Grant into a sexual relationship along with Laurinaitis, and also a person who was named at the time, or not directly, was a WWE wrestler who was described as also a former UFC fighter. And they allegedly sex trafficked Janel Grant and repeatedly sexually assaulted her across several years in the early 2020s. Brock Lesnar was later named as this person, as this WWE star and former UFC fighter, by the New York Post that January. Now, the litigation, this case is still active. It has not been resolved. It is still playing out. Lesnar's name in this case is cited a total of 44 times. The complaint essentially alleges that Lesnar was used by McMahon for sexual favors with Grant to get Lesnar to sign a new WWE contract. The reaction, as you can imagine, has been very, very heated online to this situation. I mean, look, first of all, watching this, right, just from a pure, analyzing it from a wrestling standpoint seems kind of wild, but not something I expect, not something I expected to see at all during the course of this show. There were rumors that something big was going to happen during this main event, right? On night one, you got the Seth Rollins cash-in. CM Punk wins the World Heavyweight title from Gunther, and then basically immediately loses it. He had the shortest reign of all time, basically. 5 minutes or whatever it was. Seth cashes in, big talking point to close that show. And because, pardon me, WWE is so calibrated to generate moments with a capital M, that's the booking's primarily about these clips and crazy moments that can be replayed in video packages and all of this stuff. Because of that, a lot of speculation that maybe something was going to happen in night 2 as well, rather than just a straight-up wrestling match playing out between Cena and Cody. A lot of people thinking maybe The Rock coming back, for sure. He's the most chaotic man in sports entertainment. He turns up, he drops a live stick of dynamite in a room and then walks out and leaves everyone else to deal with the fallout. Maybe the Cena babyface angle on SmackDown was going to be revealed to be a ruse and he would turn heel and screw Cody over and win the match. And there was also talk of a Cody Rhodes turn in this match that a lot of people were speculating on, which to me would be entirely destructive. None of those things ended up happening. And I guess we learned, following the show and Lesnar's return, perhaps one of the reasons why WWE was reported before SummerSlam was no longer going to do post-show press conferences, because I can't imagine that Triple H would have wanted to field questions about this given the controversies surrounding Brock Lesnar and his naming in that lawsuit. Now, I might be fooling myself a little bit here. They might have just held that show, and who knows? Somebody might have gone, Brock Lesnar, what do you think about Taylor Swift wrestling Io Sky? You know how these press conferences go sometimes, in fact, most of the time, but they're no more. Perhaps this played into it. I'm just speculating on that regard. But yeah, look, something I never saw coming in a million years. Maybe should have. Given that throughout the course of history, wrestling in particular has told us that the companies will deal with controversial people if they think it can do business or whatever. It's a deeply cynical way of looking at things, for sure, but it's generally how these things work. WWE itself has never been shy of bringing such people back into the fold. Think about Hulk Hogan as a recent example, the recently passed Hulk Hogan, and how he was brought back in following his controversies, and various others throughout history. The Ultimate Warrior was brought back in before he passed as well, and there are countless, Jimmy Snuka, many examples throughout history. And here we are, Brock Lesnar's back after being cited a total of 44 times in Janel Grant's lawsuit. It's grim, is what it is. And I think there will be a lot of real nastiness that comes out in the wake of this, for sure. Obviously, in my view, the nastiest move is bringing Lesnar back while this case is still open, right? But I think a lot of us knew this day would come. I think a lot of us thought that WWE would eventually bring Lesnar back in through the door, and they've done it here at SummerSlam. You'd imagine, him and Cena obviously have immense history. They're probably going to run that match back. I mean, why would they have F5 Cena if they weren't? I don't think that the negative reaction that many have given WWE will result in them changing the booking. I don't think they care. I think that above all else, they want to create these clips and these moments with a capital M, and they don't really care about the negative implications of these things, even when it's somebody who's been so heavily named in the lawsuit, which is still active. Mention that again. It's a very important part of this. We will be back later on today. Me and Adam will have a breakdown of this in a little bit more detail shortly. Simon Miller will be here with ups and downs, of course. And we'll have a lot more on this story. It's a big story. Brock Lesnar's back in WWE, and there's a lot of baggage surrounding this issue, a lot of things to break down. For now, however, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Nicole Matthews, the legendary indie wrestler, tweeted this morning. When somebody or a company is telling you multiple bleeping times who they are, it's on you if you continually don't believe them. I've been Andy, and I'll see you later.